All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday to you on what seemed like kind of a long first week back. I want to talk to you today about your assignment. Yesterday, your assignment was to open the Unit 6 Revolutions Interactive Notebook, complete slide number 2. Okay, so let's take a look. Complete this slide. All right, so drag and drop, okay, these from the bottom up to the matching social studies strands. All right, the next thing that you were supposed to do is write a SMART goal on the bottom of slide 3. So go back, take a look. Okay, a SMART goal needs to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely, right? So timely means within second semester, relevant means world studies, achievable means it has to be something within, right, your grasp. Okay, don't do anything that's like, if you got a D last semester, I wouldn't shoot for an A this semester, right? Make it something achievable unless you really didn't try hard, right? And you know an A is achievable. So think about what is a reasonable thing for you. Measurable and specific are the most important parts. A measurable and specific goal is something that you can actually measure. So instead of saying, I want to work harder, or I want to pay more close attention, or I want to do better, right? Those aren't measurable, so there's no way for you to tell really whether you're meeting your goal. So be very specific, make it measurable, right? Like, okay, if you're going to pay closer attention, then hopefully the result of that would be higher quiz or higher test scores, right? So maybe say, I would like to have no quiz scores lower than an 80%, right? By the end of semester 2 or something like that. So make it very specific. Okay, add your SMART goal right here on slide 3. Right, then your job was to use the reading, right? So the reading was absolutism versus limited government. It talked about social contract up here, which is super, super important to understand because social contract applies to both of these types of government, right? Anytime the government is involved, there is a social contract, right? Anytime there is a lack of government, there is not a social contract, and instead there is a state of nature. So take a look at absolute government, right? Read all about it. My advice yesterday, right, was to actually have this up at the same time, right, that you actually have this notebook page, so you can look at it, right? See, an absolute government. Whose idea, right? Who would support that idea? Oh, well, it looks like Thomas Hobbes would support that idea. So you would take Hobbes' little head and drop him over in absolute, right? Some words I think that were tough, okay, for people. Rights and responsibilities is like, hey, you have the right to, own some property, right? Or you have the responsibility of paying some taxes. Try to figure out, is that only in an absolute government, or is that only in a limited government, or is it in both? Subjects, if you are a subject, you are being subjected to someone else's rule, right? Someone above you, right? You are not a participant in the government, so figure out which one would have a subject versus which one would have citizens who actually, right, would have a role, right? Which one would the Palace of Versailles fit under? Which one would the 3 branches fit under? Rule of law. Rule of law, people are having a hard time with this one. Rule of law, guys, means that no one is above the law, right? The law stands, right, as the rule, right? It doesn't matter who you are, right? Who your mama is. It doesn't matter what family title you are, right? You are not above the law. All right, divine right was in the reading, and it's very important, okay, to understand. Divine right is divine means godly, right, or heavenly. So your right to rule came from God, right? So figure out which one of these governments would use that as their rationale for leading. And then lastly, aristocracy and bureaucracy. So aristocracy is the wealthy elite, like a wealthy small group of wealthy people. They are wealthy and they have power because it has been passed on to them generation and generation over years and years and years of tradition, right? So they actually are kind of your ruling class. And then bureaucracy, a bureaucracy means multiple layers of government, right? So for the United States, we have a bureaucratic system, right, where we have like different departments. So if we want something to get done, I always give the example of like getting my driver's license or getting my car inspection, my car titled. It takes going to different offices and different departments and filling out different forms, and the county clerk's office and then the DMV, right? And then I have to go to maybe the Missouri Highway Patrol for an inspection of my car. Like there's all of these, right, parts of the federal government, the state government, and the local governments, right? So figure out which one of these, or maybe both, right, would actually have like, okay, a system or layers of government. All right, then take a look, benefits of absolutism. Try to figure it out. Again, guys, everything you need is in this reading. It actually will tell you what the good things are about absolutism and what some of the bad things are. If you aren't sure, you can also look down here, right, and it even tells you, oh, here is the advantages of an absolute monarch, right? Then, okay, you will have problems with absolutism, benefits of a limited government, and problems of having a limited government, all right? All of that, again, is in the reading. When you are done with that, please take a screenshot of just the slide. Do not give me a full screen, right? I cannot grade it. It's too small. Okay, so instead, just select this, okay, space. Just this space. I don't need the directions over on the other side. I just need that space. Okay, attach that screenshot to our assignment. All right, so this is our assignment. And then go ahead and take the 4-question quiz. Okay. If you have questions or you come across anything that you're confused about, make sure you email and ask, especially ask before you take the quiz. And otherwise, have a great weekend, right? Hopefully the sun will be shining a little bit and we can get outside, and I'll see you next week.